Hey, Barranquilla, welcome. And this is 2025, new year, new projects. And today I'm here with a special guest, Mr. Alex Alas. Alas, how have you been today?
Excellent, brother. Excellent. Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Today we are going to have a conversation about Barranquilla, English, tourism, and why not the people who are coming back to this country because of the situation in America. So basically, I would like to know more information about you, what you do, and how long have you been living here in Barranquilla?
I've been living in Barranquilla back 4 years.
Mm.
I was in the States 22, and I was in Panama for 10 years. Now I've been back 4 years since the pandemic. I do security work, personal protection for tourists and travelers.
There you go. So your English is awesome, meaning you have been living in the States for many years in Panama. How's the English in Panama, the English level?
Actually, it's quite high, believe it or not.
There
Yeah,
you
it's,
go.
it's a lot. There's a lot of Jamaicans. There's a lot of people that actually are engaging in a lot of activities with the English language.
Okay. Now, what are those differences between United States and Colombia in terms of culture? Them that you have been living there, that you live there. So
Oh, huge. I mean, obviously, Latin America is a big gap between Latin America and the United States. Even though we have a lot of Latin people living in the States, the culture shift is always a significant number.
and do we have to mention about the traffic, the big differences between people driving here in Colombia and
Oh my
driving
God,
in the
yeah.
States?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, totally, yeah. Well, obviously, in the United States, people follow the rules, traffic rules and regulations, something that we kind of lack over here a lot of.
Okay. Now you mentioned before that you were born here in Colombia, in
And
Barranquilla, right?
Barranquilla, yes.
How was that process of becoming bilingual, of speaking English?
It was a learning process. I mean, it was. I actually didn't speak any English when I went to the States. I was almost 18 years old,
Yeah.
and I ended up going over there and going to school, learning with people, friends, family, getting adapt to the culture. And
Interacting,
yeah,
basically.
I got submerged in the culture, and that's how I learned.
Boom, awesome. And you mentioned you had a business. You have a business which is Exclusive Colombia. Could you please tell us a little bit about it? What is it about?
Exclusive Colombia was born in during pandemic. I was working as a protection agent, a bilingual protection agent, and during pandemic for some foreigners, and we realized there was a big necessity for travelers that come to Colombia. Obviously, we cannot hide that Colombia has a lot of insecurities and a lot of security issues.
Yeah,
So we're trying to provide these for people when they come to Colombia. They feel safe and they will leave with a good experience from Colombia.
absolutely. Now, and how many bilingual protection agents do you find around?
Very few,
Mm.
very few. I could actually tell you, in the whole Colombia, we could count with a couple of hands how many people we have in Colombia that provide this kind of service.
Yeah, I guess we have this situation regarding English. People do not know how to learn English, and when they find an academy or personal classes, private classes, they start learning English with this method of using grammar 24/7, completing exercises. What could be your advice for people so they can learn English as you did, interacting, talking?
There's no big secret. I mean, you want to go in a book and you start reading on a book. All you're gonna do is learn grammar, and you're gonna learn, which is not bad.
It is. It's not.
But if you want to learn how to speak English, you have to jump and speak. You have to try. I mean, you got to make what we call trial and error. You have to
Try and
learn. You
error.
have to try it, and if you fall, you try. You continue doing it until you get it perfect.
Absolutely. Hey, let's move to a different topic. We have our brothers coming back from the state.
Yes.
Well, we are not against any political figure. However, we know that they are facing this problem of coming back to Colombia with empty hands. Okay, do you think they learned the language?
Well, it's all going to depend on the time that they have in the states,
Mhm.
and obviously the willpower a lot of people have. A lot of people live in the states for I don't know 10, 20 years, and they don't speak English.
Yeah.
Sadly. But then you have people that go over there and they might be 3 years in the States and they already know how to communicate.
There you go.
So it's all a matter of what the person wants to do. For
Yeah.
me, for example, just to give you a little shout, for me, it was hanging out with friends. I didn't have friends because I didn't know how to speak the language, and everybody in my town was English speaking. So I had to learn. It was a necessity for work, for school, for friends.
Yeah. I have been pondering about this situation, and I move between the BPO industry,
Oh,
where people here in Barranquilla, we have a huge industry. People are learning English and working in BPOs, okay? Making 1.8, 2.2, 3.5.
good,
And
yes.
could the solution be like these brothers who are coming back from Colombia, like if they know English, they can and start working in this type of
Well,
companies?
just to answer a little piece about it, when I was in Panama, we lived in Panama for 10 years. And in Panama, we interacted a lot with people. I actually tried one time and didn't, it wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
But I tried doing the BPO thing, the call center game. And I found there was a lot of guys there, a lot of people, like females and males that were deported.
Yeah.
Sadly, they were Panamanian born, but they were deported, living in the United States for years, but they had really good English.
Yeah.
So that was like the only ways to be somewhat back home,
Yeah.
speaking the language, knowing the lingo, knowing how to slang the words, and talking about the culture, which is huge.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned that it was not your thing back in that time working for a call center, okay? But something that I have been saying to this new generation is, hey, if you want to work for a call center or BPO, learn the lingo, learn the skills. Otherwise, you are gonna
Absolutely,
sweat and you are gonna struggle
absolutely,
working that in this type of
absolutely, yes.
companies. Yeah.
And it's profitable. I mean, if you think about it, somebody coming out of high school and here in Colombia, somebody coming out of high school, fresh, 16, 17 years old, all of a sudden they go and they want to go in the work field and they don't have anything. So they learn English. They could go in a job making 1.8, 2 million pesos a month. You know what I mean? And that's a good way to make a living.
Now, let me tell you this. I do work with a 22 years old girl, and she's making like two and a half minimum salaries here in Colombia. At the age of 22, that's unbelievable, right? We couldn't do that back in time. Now, Alex, I have to confess that I have been a pain in the neck to my students because I always tell them that, hey, call centers or BPOs, they are a good business where you can make good money, where you can work and save some money and do whatever you want. So I do consider that these brothers that got deported, they can start working in BPOs in Bogota, Barranquilla, Bucaramanga.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, definitely. I think it's a good business.
Yeah,
It's a very easy way to make a living,
yeah, there you go.
especially because the only skill you need is English.
That's it. Now you have been to Cartagena, Barranquilla, Panama, the States. What is your opinion regarding Barranquilleros English? Have you found it difficult? Or what?
Well, I found it's been an awakening. I mean, people actually are more interested. I've seen in the last couple of years, people are more interested about learning English. Since Pumarejo, the last city mayor,
A project?
started the whole
Yes.
project, people have actually been more aware, and I see they get more involved now and wanting to learn English.
And I know your daughter, who is
Eight.
uh, 8 years old, she speaks good English, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Okay,
she's bilingual. Yeah, she's already
absolutely.
bilingual. Yeah.
And do you speak in English with her at home, or
Yeah,
how's the process?
the only language we speak, me and her, is English.
Doom,
Yeah, she
absolutely.
speaks with her mom about Spanish, but it's all English with me and her. And I like
That's
to practice with her, so it's
That's
good.
awesome. Now let's move to a different topic, which is gonna be tourism. Remember, Barranquilla has been receiving thousands and thousands of visitors. We have now the Malecón,
Yeah.
where many people are enjoying time there, walking around. How many foreigners, how many American people have you seen around the city enjoying the city?
So there is a Facebook group that is expats here in Barranquilla, and I've actually asked them before. I've asked the question to a couple of my clients. I'm like, "What brings you to Barranquilla?" And the common question, the common answer is, "I like that it's quiet, it's nice, and there's not a lot of tourists." So they enjoy
Yeah.
coming to Barranquilla because of that, opposed to Medellin, to the crowded Bogota, and the highly tourist area of Cartagena. They like Barranquilla because it's quiet. So
Yes, awesome. Now, basically, we are having this conversation because we want you to be aware of the importance of learning English, living here in Barranquilla. We never know when we might need it. Alex, I have had some clients that they are now living in the States, and living in the States, they are learning the language. Okay,
Yeah.
so in that case, I suppose that guys, you need to learn the language too, because we never know when you might need it. They say
Of
that
course.
opportunities don't knock the door twice. So thank you so much, Alex, for accepting this invitation, and thank you, you guys, for joining us
Thank you.
today. Alex, any other word that you would like to mention?
Just like to encourage you to learn another language. I mean, English is a universal language, pretty much. It's worldwide accepted, and why not learn it? Give it a try.
There
You
you
have
go.
a lot of avenues to learn.
There you go. And remember, guys, the more you specialize your skills, the more marketable you are. Entre más usted especialice sus habilidades, más oportunidades laborales o de negocios tendrá. Bye bye.